Hi, I'm Angela M. Odom, and I retired from the United States Army in 2015 and was fortunate and blessed to publish my book, Bronco Strong, a memoir of the last deployed Personnel Services Battalion in 2016. This interview series is the foundation of the book. The book is about my 18-month experience as a battalion commander. 15 of those months were served in Iraq from October 2006 to January 2008. And I was fortunate enough to be able to interview people, soldiers, men and women who served with me during that tumultuous deployment. So Bronco Strong is really about my perspective, my firsthand account, as well as those who served with me. And we have a special treat. Inside the book, you will find why I served articles that were reprinted from soldiers who in 2007 expressed their opinion. And so this is an awesome opportunity. So proud and so happy to share it with you. And the point really is to acknowledge and to always keep front of mind our soldiers, their significant contributions and their sacrifices. Enjoy. Bronco Strong. This interview is of Lieutenant Colonel Rick Strong, who was a captain in 2006, and I was his battalion commander. He gives great insights on the 15-month deployment. Enjoy. Bronco Strong. So for your deployment, I know you've deployed 4 different times. What questions do you get asked from people that are not in the military about your deployments?
They kind of ask, what's it like? Are you scared? Is it dangerous? And all that kind of stuff. And my deployment spanned from me being single, no kids, to me married, no kids, to me married, 1 kid, to me married with 2 kids. So like I've kind of had this spectrum. And single and no kids, I mean, you still have your parents and things like that, but it's a lot easier because you don't think about anything at home, and I'm just, hey, thinking about this. Married, Nikki happened to be deployed at the same time, and so I was able to talk to her and whatever. She was down in Kuwait. And then once I had kids, it was like way different. It was easier the first 2 deployments because I don't know, like I didn't think that there was someone that needed me, when I got home. To the kids, I Skype, luckily the last 2 deployments that had Skype and so our FaceTime, and you're able to kind of see them growing up, and and you're like, I just got to get home. I just want to, I mean, I'm going to get this done and that's great, but I just got to get home.
Right.
So I just tell them how hard it is to leave family or, whatever. But when I tell them, when I'm there, you kind of get in a zone. You just, you don't forget your family, but like for 18 hours of the day, you're working, and so you're kind of thinking about other things, and so you set aside time to call or to Skype or whatever, and
You're good at compartmentalizing.
Yes.
And then we have to face the music and
afterwards.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Because the kids are still growing and still doing things that you're like, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they're wondering, hey, you missed a call.
Well, and I tell this to Nikki, like I have when I'm deployed, I have a problem with, like, I over analyze, I overthink things all the time. And so I can only call, like she can't call me. And so like if I call there and there's no answer, that was my change, like that's my, so then now I know that I have to go 24 hours or another 18 hours or whatever to even talk to them and see if everything's okay. So then I'm like, well, I wonder if everything's okay. And, you kind of start to like overthink things in your head because you can only call them, they can't get in touch with you. And so that makes it hard, for me.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that something? I made a video before I left,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have my niece and her brand new husband, newlywed husband.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he wasn't 14 months. So I made that video. Hey, it's mommy, blah blah blah. And I was reading a book,
Yeah.
and I would tell her, just play this, let him see it. And so um, he didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
It was mommy in the computer.
Yeah.
And that's something.
My wife made it was called like a flat daddy. It was a cardboard cutout.
The one that's in your garage.
Yeah, she made two. One for each of those last two deployments. And I mean, it's life-size cardboard cutout, and she would like take it everywhere. It'd be in the house, and she would send me pictures, or I'd see them Skyping, and like they're hugging up against this cardboard like picture of me, and they run up to it and give it a kiss, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, this is like crazy. And so when I went home, my third deployment, Jameson was 1. I missed from 1 to 2. That he had a rough time like readjusting, and it took a few months, to him to readjust. But then when I got home, the last deployment with Declan and Jameson was 3, and so he was old enough, and so instantly when I walked in the door, he recognized me, and so he came up and like hugged me. And Declan was just 1, 1.5, and he was like, well, if he's hugging him, like, and so
I guess it's okay.
Yeah, and so he ran up, and like that day, he was fine. So
Yeah. Because what Ryan did was he kept telling me, I want mommy in the pewter. I want mommy in the pewter. Because the real life mama was saying, clean up after yourself.
Yeah. The one on the computer just reads to me.
It's weird. But yeah, so that was a lot, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, this was good because what I want to do is be able to add like realistic stories and insert them, and like the whole thing with the memorial service, the end of 2 awards. And I have my version of them. My version is I'm smiling and taking pictures of everybody, but I really don't know what the other people say. Quite frankly, at the end. And so I just want to make sure I get, like I said, a panoramic view of the perspectives of folks. So the Smiling Strongs, your mom and dad.
Yeah.
What have they asked you about deployments?
Well, the first deployment I went on in 2004, it was with the G1 and 13th Corps Support Command, and I volunteered to go on convoys. I was the convoy commander from Kuwait up into Balad, and probably went, I've talked to some logistics guys, lieutenants and stuff, and they were doing convoys up and around Mosul over to Fallujah, and this was 2004. And, we would get shot at, and, I got a cab, and I remember, we hit the convoy in front of us, like hit a mine and flipped the vehicle, and there was casualties, and we come up on it and started treating the casualties, and medevac came in and, flew away, and I'm like, did this really just happen? And so at the time, I didn't tell him while I was there. When I got home after that first deployment, I thought that was my last deployment. I'm only going to go, I didn't comprehend that this might not be the last one. So I told my parents, I'm like, well, actually what happened was I did this, and I did this, here's pictures of me doing this, and, like doing like all this like crazy stuff. And all of a sudden, oh, you're deploying again. And all of a sudden, you're deploying again. And so like now I like dug myself into a hole. So like now every time I deploy, that's all they think I do, like every single time. And so every time they're like, don't volunteer for anything, just stay on the base and just do this. And, because I told them everything that first deployment. And so they don't, my dad was a Marine and he was in Vietnam. And so he thinks, and until I've tried to tell him, several times, that it's nothing like Vietnam, so like you don't have to worry about that. But I also am not going to do what I did that first deployment, these other deployments. So I kind of just continually like reassure them that it's safe. When I was a commander, I had to travel a lot, but we flew most everywhere. and I just tried to, reassure him that I was safe.
Yeah.
That was kind of the biggest thing.
Right. Did that work?
I mean,
No.
probably not.
No, it did not work. Okay.
It did not work.
It did not work. So for me, you got anything else?
No.
Have you talked to like this is an interview, but anybody else about any of this? Just like you did with me?
No.
Oh, okay. They're gonna know now. Hell yeah. But okay, well I really do appreciate first of all like the insight.
Mm-hmm.
Because a whole bunch of those things you said I had forgotten,
Mm-hmm.
the details of, especially the mission increase.
I didn't forget that.
I forgot about the mission increase and then the COC that they were yours. Yeah.
I wrote an article, and that was the article in 1775 that we published that year. I wrote about casualty operations, and there's a picture of you and those 5 guys in the hospital.
Oh, I remember standing in front of
Anthony Munoz and Bullard and.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do remember standing up in front of them taking that picture.